This is the Lewin Naturalist National Park and a place up near Moses Rock that we're doing some monitoring of arum lilies here with the nature conservation. Some of the extent of some of the higher density of arum lilies that are occurring here. One of the reasons for making this is to demonstrate a little bit of why we're bothering to do this and what the purpose behind monitoring arum lily is. So down here we've got some really small little orchids that have come up because it's the springtime, and these here are called pink fairy orchids. And there's some more here. So these smaller flowers are what's under threat because of the arum lilies and the space that they take up. This is Genevieve and myself doing arum lily monitoring here in the Lewin Naturalist National Park. Genevieve is looking at 20 meters square and doing a visual calculation on the density that we see. We've been working together throughout this area.
The infestation spreads as much and becomes as dense as this, then all understory is lost. And the value of that understory to insects and birds and reptiles, and the whole ecosystem's changed.
Yeah, it really is a monoculture,
Yeah.
what we're looking at here. There's so many tiny little arums. Yeah, I agree on the ground, and there's a whole lot of other little flowers that are coexisting and diversity at the moment that we can see. That what's happening is the roots of the arum lilies are going to grow, these other plants are going to grow, and there's nothing that's going to stop them, and that's going to crowd out the rest of the flowers. It's really interesting. There's a little billy button here, some other flowers, and some fungi growing over on this tree, and this really beautiful banksia over here. Lots of small arum lilies that have been popping up as the seeds have been spreading. So seeds are spread often by birds and from the flowers, so each one of these flowers will turn into a cluster of seeds that birds will come along and eat, or other animals too, and then spread them. And there's nothing really to stop them except for if there's some human intervention. But I'll show you around a little bit so you can get an idea of the beauty of this place and what is also currently here that is worth saving and that we want to keep. I wonder what happened under this tree here, if some kangaroos like to sleep here. I want to capture some of the diversity of what's around me and the different plants and insects and birds that I can hear and see in the national park here. So I've just come from the forest behind me over here, and about 40 meters that way there's really dense arum lilies. So if they were to spread to over here, all of these different flowers and diversity would not be able to exist. We've got some billy buttons here, these little yellow pom-poms, and we've got little buttercups here, and a lot of hibbertia as well. And if I head over this way, you can actually see an area that started to be infested with arum. I'm treading carefully to try not to walk on too many of the other plants. But if these here were allowed to spread, then none of the other plants would be able to exist over time.
I wonder if
I think
They
they're
probably
just little
are.
paper daisies.
Yeah, I think they are.
They're so sweet.
Mm.
It's amazing to think that 20 metres over there is just a carpet of arum lilies. And it's like it's heading on its way over here.
That's right. That's what I was thinking when we were talking about the, 100 metres. So you can sort of see, it's just to keep the majority of seed will get dropped within 100 metres, and then within 100 metres, sort of, just like.
Yeah, it's like a wall of moving.
Yeah.
Look at
bulldozer.
these little insect
Oh, yeah.
eating ones here. I love those ones.
I wonder what this is, because that's a lovely thing.
Yeah. There's so much to discover out here.
Mm.
In the shade here, there's a lovely combination of Boronia, which smells amazing. And what's the name, Genevieve, of this little orange flowered
It's
one?
a Canedia coccinea.
Canedia concinea? Check out these little guys here. They're beautiful little orchids as well. That would be nice to protect from the arum lilies. These little plants here like to eat insects. And they're flowering at the moment as well. And I'm in a sea of hibiscus. That are all brightly coloured yellow. And occasionally, amongst the little purple flowers, there's a belly button. Or three.